So this is our first episode of Better with Therapy. It's focusing on things and talking with individuals really about what they find um, physical, mindful, and uplifting in their life. And the first person we have for today is Mark Thomas. Mark Thomas to me is he's a Ocean City present, but Ocean City past also, just from the things he's done. So, Mark, thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for inviting me.
Known Mark for a while now. Just I was wondering if I could just ask you a little bit, like where you were born
Of course.
and where you're from.
Yep.
Where are you?
Born in Baltimore City. I moved here when I was 8 years old. And we moved out of a pretty serious situation in Baltimore City. Just wasn't much going on. I don't know if I'd still be around if I was in Baltimore at this time. And it was just about 50 years ago. So it's been great. It's been a great 50 years here.
And then, what age? So what age did you move here?
8 years old.
8, you said?
Yep.
And then any siblings?
I have a younger brother. He's 2 years older, 2 years younger than me. So I'm 57 and he's 55.
Are you guys similar?
No, not at all. He career military.
Oh, really?
Career military, and then he became a nurse after his military career, over 20 years of military, and then it's been a nurse for a while now. So he went to nursing school after that. So he's retired from there, and he's more structured.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I can understand that. How about your parents? What kind of jobs did they have?
Oh, my dad was a chef. My mom worked for the state, and she also was in the restaurant business for 27 years. Said education was where it needed to be. My mom ended up getting a master's degree. My father passed away when I was 18. Then I had a stepdad for about 30 years, and he was in the education as well, the education field. So the education is where it was. That's what they preached in us. So,
and I think I've met your stepdad.
Yes,
He came here years ago. Yeah, Frank.
Yes,
he was a great guy.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't think I ever met your
not really that. No, he died when I was 18.
Biological dad. Yeah. How was your childhood?
Childhood was good. Good. It was different. But it was definitely good. I had a couple real close friends that I still have today. A little different living in Ocean City, being one of the first mixed guys in Ocean City. So biracial is what they like to say properly.
Yeah.
But had it hard from both sides, but it just made me who I am today and made me a lot stronger.
So with that, do you have, growing up, did you have a lot of black friends or white friends or both?
Pretty much white friends. That's because I lived in Ocean City. So that's where everyone was. So, and then I became I bodyboarded. So, I mean, that's who was there. So.
Okay. How about school? How was school? Like, what kind of grades did you have?
Average. I didn't apply myself. So it was just, I was about average, but then I went to military school, Macedon Military Academy, and things changed there.
What age did you go to the academy?
I was there for 11th and 12th grade. I went to a boarding school, also Laurinburg Academy, when I was in 10th grade. So when I was 15. So
did you go to the academy you just needed some more structure?
I needed a lot of structure, and I needed a better education because back in the 80s, the schools weren't very good here. Now they're all blue ribbon schools. So.
And then your brother, he
did the military school as well.
The same one?
Yep. He graduated from there, Macedon Military Academy. That's the best thing that happened to us.
Did you have a best subject or worst subject?
Best subjects. I liked the military part. And I liked anything that was like physical education. English was, I just wasn't, I was just average as a student because I could have been more, but I didn't apply myself.
Okay. So when it goes down, okay. So it's still working when it goes down like that.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I could have applied myself more, but I didn't. I'm young and knew everything.
Yeah. How about hobbies? So you said bodyboarding.
I was a bodyboarder down here. I played football. I actually played football in college for a couple of years. But the bodyboarding part, the professionals would come because it was when bodyboarding first started, and what would I do? They said, well, the professionals are coming. The professionals are coming. I said, okay. They said, are you getting autographs? I said, absolutely not. I'm going to get an autograph from someone. I'm going to be one of them. So that was my goal in life, to be a bodyboarder on the North Shore. So I pulled it off, but it's just pretty funny. I refused to get an autograph by somebody that's going to be my friend.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you met some of them?
I knew them all. They're all on my phone right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 57. I knew them all, and I knew them all on a really good basis. Like, been to houses, they've been to my house, I've been to their house, surf with them. I was just there last year, and we all got to surf together. So,
did you ever
small group
take up surfing?
I can stand up surf a little bit. I can stand up surf. My friends were all pro surfers too.
Oh.
So I would get a big enough board where I could stand up. I wasn't very good, but I could stand up surf.
Uh-huh.
So
what when you were bodyboarding, what was your like height and weight roughly?
Oh, like 240. 240, 6'2.5".
That seems like a pretty big bodyboarder.
It's a big bodyboarder, but I like really big, powerful waves. Like Waimea Shore Break. I surfed pretty big pipeline. I surfed outside Waimea. Just would look the wedge in California. Anything that was powerful that could hurt you, I was there.
And what's probably like one of the favorite spots you've been for bodyboarding?
Favorite spot on the East Coast and one of the favorite spots in the world is Southside Indian River Inlet. It gets really good there, but I like pipeline.
You're talking about right in Delaware?
Right here in Delaware. One of the best waves I've ever surfed was Southside Indian River Inlet.
Really?
When it's good, yeah. It gets really good, but I mean, other than that, you have pipeline. That was fun before it got real crowded.
And when you say really good, what's that? Like, how big is that?
Just pipeline good was 6 to 8 feet, like 12 to 15 foot faces.
What's the biggest wave you think you rode?
I've been out on 50-foot days, 25-foot backs, so 50-foot bases at Waimea.
In Hawaii?
Yes.
So how'd you end it? So you told me how you got to Ocean City.
Mm-hmm.
So then after school, after you finished the academy.
Yep. I went to college for a couple of years and played football.
What position?
Free safety. It's a pretty big free safety. 6'2.5", 240.
Yeah.
So I was pretty big at that. And then I didn't like that. I was supposed to go to Salisbury. I was going to go to Salisbury because I got hurt. And my mom had it all set up for me to go to Salisbury and finish. And I told her, there's no need for me to go to school. I don't want to go because I just want to go play football. And I guess I was going to get a history degree like everybody else. And I wasn't teaching school.
Yeah.
So I said, don't waste your money. I'm not going to go. And then I ended up going to culinary school. So I did well there. And that's what led me into a lot of the restaurant work that I did.
You went through the whole culinary. So
yes.
You could be a culinary chef.
And restaurant man, hotel, motel, restaurant management as well.
So when you're going, because a lot of times on Facebook, you're going around and I see you post different like meals you're eating and everything.
Yes.
So you can really analyze those.
Yes, again.
It's not like you're just taking a picture of something that
no, I know
good.
exactly what's
It also
there.
tastes good.
Yes.
So because I see you doing it like at like Bull on the Beach. What are other ones that you?
Bull on the Beach, Decatur Diner. I like Kim Acton's Star Restaurant over in River Run. There's Crab Alley. I prefer like good restaurants.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So you didn't go to see your safety. You didn't go to Salisbury.
No, I didn't go to Salisbury. I was going to go to Salisbury and finish my football.
Your mom
career.
probably wasn't happy.
No, she wasn't.
And what was like one of your idols for football? Like was there a guy like, hey, like in professional football, you were like, I want to be like this guy?
Sadly, it was Dexter Manley.
Oh, the minister. But no. He was what was he called?
He was the guy that couldn't read or write.
Yeah,
I found that out afterwards. Number 72 for the
like
Redskins.
One of the guys I actually do know.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to like him.
Yes, big time. I liked him. He was disruptive. Then I found out later he couldn't even read or write. But that didn't stop me from liking him. But I was like, that's not much of a
yeah.
Not much of a guy.
That wasn't why you didn't go to college.
Right. That definitely wasn't the reason.
So then what did you do after that?
Culinary school, and then in between I go to Hawaii.
You go back and forth
to Hawaii a lot.
And you still keep in contact with some of those
Still keep in contact with all the guys really, really well, actually, through Facebook and through phone calls.
And some are still there?
A lot of them are still there because that's where they're from.
So what was the injury you had for playing football that had you stop?
I hurt my knee, but I just didn't. I hurt my knee and my ankle, and I just had to take a year off.
You didn't do any physical therapy or anything?
No, I didn't.
Did they suggest it, or did
Oh
they?
yeah.
Because years ago, I mean, when we were younger, they didn't have it as much, or you don't. I never heard about people going to it that much.
They didn't have it as much, but I was a guy that knew everything anyway.
You wouldn't have gone.
I wouldn't have gone. Just ask me. Yeah, it's just not. That's not good.
There wasn't like YouTube to look it up on what to do either.
No, you just kind of just go with the flow.
Yeah, but it just healed.
Yeah.
Over a year.
Yeah.
Did you limp for a while?
Yeah. I still do on my ankle. There's like something broken in my ankle. It's still swollen when I'm on it all day. It's dumb.
That drives me. When people say that, it just like kills me because I'm like, man, this person should have just gone to therapy and they would have been so much better.
Yeah, but I was 18.
Yeah,
I knew it all.
So, what friends do you still have now that you had when you when you first came around here?
Philip Halk. His parents started the Bull on the Beach. Michelle, sister, Kevin, Pam. Pam was there, who owns Patty Jeans, and Jimmy Spicer, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some acquaintances, but Bill Radis. I've known Bill Radis for probably 30 years. He's the guy who has the Gator Diner.
Yeah,
him and I are really, really close. We hit it off well, and we've been best friends since. But not many. It's just a small handful. Keep your circle small. It's easier.
Yeah, no, I have the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm super good friends with a bunch of my college friends. One just came down this past weekend. And I got to work. I try to exercise, and I just touch base with those guys. It's easy now because Facebook and
yes,
you can text or call, and we have cell phones.
Yeah,
when we were younger, we didn't have cell phones.
Right. I actually reconnected with a friend of mine who I took under my wing years and years ago. Actually, she taught my daughter how to walk.
Oh wow!
When I was working, her and another girl, Alice, would teach her how to walk, and she took her first steps with her. Her name's Melissa Martin. She runs St. Francis Academy in Baltimore City.
Oh, okay.
So we really have her and I and her family and I have a really, really good relationship. We're out for Father's Day for 8 hours.
Oh, that's really cool.
That was fun. Yeah, it was good to see her, and it's always good to see her and her family.
Now, so kind of like hitting on what you said, so how many children do you have?
I have 2. I have a 22-year-old I raised alone. Her mom was into some things she shouldn't have been into, and we just went about our business, sold our property in Arizona, and came home. Gave her a few chances, but that was it. And I have a 14-year-old I have joint custody of. Mm-hmm. Alicia's the big one, and Morgan's the little one. She's 14. They get along very, very well.
Actually, Alicia's probably the reason when I first met you again.
Yes.
Because I knew of you. I knew you from the past. But then Alicia, I kind of, because when she had a finger, it was a finger injury.
Yeah, I was not paying attention. And she was in a microwave at a young age, and she burned styrofoam on her hand, and I grabbed her up, took her to the hospital, and ran over there and said, someone has to help her.
Yeah.
And then they helped her, and then they sent me here, and then I reunited with Martin and his crew, and her finger, she had major surgery on it, and her finger is normal now, thanks to you guys. And that's
I appreciate it. But, I mean, she did a great job. You guys were consistent with her, too.
Yes.
You were on her for doing her exercises, and she was young.
Very young.
How old was she?
Probably 8 years old, 7 or 8.
Yeah, most 8-year-olds aren't going to do it if their parents aren't going to encourage them to do it.
Oh, you have to do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, and she has full function of her finger.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
So, when I first met you, I want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
When I first met you, it was Rick Bunning and I were probably the only doorman at Secrets when it was a lot smaller. Like, the inside part just opened.
Back in the day.
And it was literally like we would stand at the bottom of the ramp, and you would come in with, you were the biggest of the group, but there would be a group with you, and there was probably a 99% chance you were going to get thrown out of, we'd have to throw you out of Secrets. But it never would just be one of us. It would be like multiple people, like all on the walkie-talkies, like, okay, we got this guy.
Wow.
What was that? What was happening all the time? Because something was always happening when you were there.
I'll tell you what happened. And it's not any way that I would, I don't think it's okay, but it happened. I got picked on so much as a kid. And then I went away to military school, and I grew 6 inches and about 60 pounds. And I just came back, and I just destroyed everybody. That's something you don't do now because guns and knives. But I just had a chip on my shoulder, and nobody was going to even look at me. And it was not the right way to live, but that's the way I did things. That's the way I handled things.
Yeah.
Didn't lose many fights in my life, but that's just not the way to do things.
No, I don't think you did. That's why we
No.
were like always alarmed. It was always like, okay, it's not going to be a good night.
No, Buckwheat's in here with
Yeah.
Philip.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. And then but you're way different now.
Oh yeah.
You're not that person when I first met you.
No.
Because I remember when you came back for physical therapy. Talking about that, when I first met you came in, was it your shoulder?
Shoulder, hips, yeah, a little bit of everything.
You were like kind of, I don't know. You were like, you're super nice. You're always nice, but
I was different.
You're always talkative, but you weren't intense. Like you were gonna
no, not at all.
Like beat someone up.
No, the Lord.
Yeah,
it's just Jesus, and I went to church as a kid, but then I fell off the path like everyone does, and then I found him again years and years ago, and I don't know. I just feel like that's the purpose. I think you have to be kind to people. You have to be nice, and you can't be. I mean, I was a kid, so I knew everything. So just ask me.
So with this podcast, with the Better with Therapy part, one of the three is uplifting.
Uh-huh.
So for that, that would be like your biggest thing for. Would you say that's one of your biggest things for making you feel uplifting, like make you feel good?
Yeah, the Lord, yes, and bringing other people along, not necessarily like preach the gospel to boom, 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 but bring them along in a happy way. Like you're gonna do this. You see someone over there, you got this. It gets better. Trust me, and you just keep on speaking it into their life, and that's so they believe it.
Because I feel like just even like life itself is like therapy. Like it's just. That's why we have this mindful, uplifting, physical. Because even like physically, like what kind of things do you like to do? And it can be as minimal as walking or what kind of things do you like?
I used to ride my bike a lot before my hips. I want to get back into that. I like physically. I don't know. I do a lot of walking. We do a lot of stuff with the kids. Mm-hmm. A lot of amusement parks and water parks and things like that. Like to do a lot more exercise now. My hips are better thanks to you guys, and that's about it. Stay positive.
Yeah, that's important. Do you pray or meditate?
Pray. You can't pray enough. Prayer's not getting answered. It's being heard. It's just not. God's just not ready for you yet. So you just keep on praying.
You're praying for things for yourself, for your family,
First
friends.
of all, I pray for other people first. I'm not important. God already knows what I need, and then I hit him up later on. But I would prefer to pray for a friend, just like I prefer to give a friend something or give somebody who needs something first. Mm-hmm. I just put people in front of you, and then that's the way that uplifts me,
right?
Big time. I'd rather give to someone than take.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. So for you, one of the things we were talking about before, like for physical therapy, what was your first impression of physical therapy in general? And it could be with you, or it could be when Alicia came.
Oh, when Alicia came, amazing. These guys are amazing, and all I thought about was, well, I don't want to do it, but if I need to do it, that's the spot where I'm going to do it, over there with those guys.
For yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started needing them, and there it was. Just it worked out perfectly.
Because I know there's times when you came that, it's not easy. Like sometimes it hurts.
Yeah.
But like particularly like when we talk about your recent one, like
yes,
your hip replacement.
Yeah.
You start out and you're not really walking really well. What you had a walker.
I had a walker, but I did everything you guys told me to do, and I did everything the doctor told me to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, after 8 days, I need my walker. People were like looking at me like, "What? Did you get your hip done yet?"
Yeah.
I was like, no, I've just listened to the people that told me it's something I would have never done back in the day.
Yeah, I was like, because earlier on you said you didn't listen to anyone.
I didn't listen to anybody because I knew everything.
Yeah. Well, I think I did too, so that makes sense.
But you guys and myself, obviously, and my doctors, with hip replacement surgery, I got it done April 1st. I was cleared to do anything I wanted to do in 38 days, which my goal was
38 days.
38 days after
That's
hip replacement surgery. They took it, everything was fine. Told me I could get on a jet ski, whatever I wanted to do. And I was like, wow. And I just did what I was supposed to do. I didn't feel like coming here 2-3 days a week, but I still came.
Yeah.
And then it came to the point where I was like, I don't need to come anymore because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have no pain and I'm doing everything I have to do.
Yeah. I mean, we try to make it as enjoyable as possible.
Yeah.
Because we know that people, a lot of times, why would someone want to come to physical therapy? But,
Yeah.
you know, we have a good crew. We have a good staff.
Very, very, very good staff.
A lot of these things, I think, you know, what I was going to ask you too before is, I think you told me, like, when you were coming to physical therapy a couple of years ago, you had a goal because you were going back to Hawaii.
Yes.
And you had some goals
Yep.
that you wanted to do when you went back to visit Hawaii where
Yep.
you were when you were younger.
Yep.
Did you get those goals?
Yes, I got the bodyboard. Didn't get the bodyboard the waves that I got kids now.
But you went out there and
I went out there.
did some smaller ones.
Yes. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. I had a curiosity. I'm always thinking of this. I shouldn't probably. But did you see, like, were there a lot of sharks out there? Did you see sharks?
There's sharks absolutely out there. Absolutely. I had a friend attacked in Kauai at a place we surfed all the time. I'm absolutely petrified of sharks. And since I had kids, I'm more petrified. I mean, they're there, so I don't enjoy it as much. And now with the hip, I don't think I'll be bodyboarding anymore because I want powerful waves, and that's not going to be working out for my hip.
Any of your children into bodyboarding?
No,
No.
they like the wave runner with me though, so it's
They
good.
like the beach, or
They like the beach. They love the beach.
because I mean I know some people live down here. They don't even like the sand.
No, true story. Hate sand.
What?
Hate sand. Like I can't stand the sand, and that's what I did forever. Bodyboard in Hawaii and everywhere.
What?
I could not stand the sand. I could wear shoes on the beach anytime. I'd wear shoes.
I
Can't
love
stand the
just
sand.
walking barefoot on the beach.
Oh, I can't stand the way sand feels.
Really?
Never have. Nope. Never. Yep. Weird.
Are there any stories like from Hawaii that you can share that were good for you?
Yeah, I was a jack of all trades out there because I didn't make a lot of money bodyboarding, but I made a little bit. First of all, I went over there and tried to be a pro bodyboarder, which was good because I was such a good amateur. But when I went, my first contest, I got third place in the first heat and got my doors blown off. And I said, well, this might not be for me. But I still hung in there, and then I did everything else to hustle. I had a North Shore taxi. I had a taxi service out there. I sold cars. I did a little bit of everything just to stay out there.
Because you weren't making enough just bodyboarding.
I wouldn't make enough bodyboarding at all. But I would have it here where I'd work and make like $25,000 a summer and carry it all to Hawaii.
So what jobs did you have here as you were growing up?
I was in the restaurant business, obviously. And then when I started to get smart, when I started to get along with people, I went to the front of the house because that's where the money was. I got out of culinary school, and I cooked at $12 an hour 30 years ago at Thompson's for Dave Eicher, one of my favorite people in the world, the chef. I'm real good friends with him today. And I said to him, I said, Chef, I'm out of here. I got to go to the front. The wait staff's stupid, and they don't know anything about the food. They're making $300 a night. I said, I can't cook for $12 an hour. He goes, well, that might be a good move for you, but I hate to see you go.
Oh, yeah.
And then I left. I think I went to Mario's, and then from Mario's to Tutti Gusti. And then when I moved to Arizona with my daughter, and then bought a house, and I just worked for the rich and famous. And you can make a lot of money in the restaurant business. People don't realize that, especially out front.
Yeah. No, you can. I mean,
Yeah.
I see a lot of people do it. I mean, I ended up working down here, and then I left and went to grad school for physical therapy.
Yeah.
I came back, and some of the guys are still in the restaurant business, but they're doing well.
Yeah.
You know, they invest it well. They handle their money well. As long as you handle your money well, you can do pretty well.
I got my houses almost paid off.
Yeah.
And I was making $2,000-3,000 a week in Arizona. Drug dealer money without drug dealer. That's what I called it. Look.
So you never worked.
Crazy.
You never worked at Decatur Diner or Bull on the Beach. You just
Worked at Bull on the Beach off and on for 20 years.
Okay, because you know those guys.
Yes. Worked there. And I worked for Bill if he ever called me to work. He's called me a few shifts to come in and wash dishes. I think I waited tables there one time. If they know when they're to work, I'll go work.
Yeah. What advice would you give your younger self?
Listen. Just listen.
Just listen.
That's it. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen to people because they're probably right.
That's hard to say. It's so hard. It's so
Yeah.
easy to say now because I would say the same thing.
Listen.
But like even with like, you know, it doesn't always happen. But I think sometimes it's good just to hear it again. You know.
Yeah.
Because
57.
how much easier things would be if we
Oh.
kind of like changed the course, maybe by one or two things.
Yes. Yeah, but listen, I have no regrets, honestly. But listen, you just have to listen to people because you don't know everything. They're older than you. My mom's 80 years old today. My
She's
mom,
80 years old
80 years old today.
Oh,
My mom knows.
You got to tell her I said happy birthday.
I will. 10 times as much as, you know what I mean, we'll ever know. And you just listen. And I messed up a lot of things by not listening because I knew everything. But that's about it, though.
Your mom's a tough lady.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you know, I mean.
She doesn't play around. She doesn't hold her punches, and then you still listen to her.
I mean, she wanted obviously she wanted the best for you. She sent your ass to military school.
Absolutely.
You know, she wanted things to get straight, and it worked out.
Yes.
You know, it did, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm successful.
What advice would you give someone that's having a hard time?
Just
a hard time in general.
Hard time. Don't ever give up. Don't quit. Seek a higher power. I say Jesus, but I'm not going to tell you you're wrong not to seek. To just seek Jesus. Seek a higher power. They know more than you do. And trust in people. Trust in the Lord. Don't trust in people. Trust in the Lord or trust in your higher power to get you through this. And don't ever give up. It's never worth giving up. Life's only so short.
I think not giving up is so important. And I think like for it, even in like the mind, like if you think about mindfulness, just thinking positive, and like going for like having a goal and really not like settling for anything else.
Yes.
I know sometimes they say have an alternative plan. You can have an alternative plan, but you really want to go for the plan you have set for yourself.
Yep.
So
I'll tell you, as a kid, absolutely beat up by everybody.
Like
physically, but mentally as well. I had school teachers tell me I would never be successful because I'm screwed up because my mom is white and my dad's black. And you know what? That put a seed in my mind thinking, I can't wait to show these people when I do make it. And now I pull up to Decatur. They want football donations. They want donations. Oh, yeah, of course you do. I've got an $80,000 truck and a great job.
Right.
So, but I mean, I still support the school, but I'm saying how far we've come after 40 years or 45 years of being there. Now they love you, but then they told you would be a failure in life.
Yeah.
Different people now, though. Way different. Everyone's retired from that era.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not putting it on these people, but you got to be kidding me. You can't beat up a kid when you're an adult.
Yeah, I mean, the people there now are completely all different.
Obviously, way different. Nobody is in the same school.
It wasn't actually the school, but it was the school. People.
It was the people, and it was the workers in the school, too. But they're no longer, obviously, they've been retired and moved on or passed away. And so don't hold anyone responsible. But that helped me, though, because I was like, I can't wait to show these people. I can't wait to show them.
No, that's great. I mean, because it had to have been hard, growing up biracial. And,
yes.
Just in general. So I appreciate you coming on. Where can someone find you, or with your job now? Let's talk about your job now.
I sell a product called Buddy by the Sea. It gives back 10% to people who need service dogs and service dog foundations. Mark at buddybythesea.com. I'm in Patty Jeans in Ocean City. I'm in a Kite Loft. I'm in Blue and Boutique. I'm in a lot of stores, and we're all over the country. So we just launched our Buddy by the Lake brand 2 years ago.
Buddy by the Lake?
Buddy by the Lake.
I don't think I knew that one.
For lake towns. And then that same email and 443-359-8550 is my phone number will get you. I have a shuttle business as well. So you could hit me up at airport runs and things like that, night out. So I do a little bit of everything. I'm still in the hustle, and I love it.
And we've used the shuttle. I mean, we had a problem here, and we had to get someone home really quick. And it was actually an employee that was really not feeling well.
Yes.
They just needed to go home and rest, and they couldn't drive. So we called Mark, and he was there quick, I don't know, minutes. And he took him home. And he knew him because he was a patient here.
Yes.
So we said, hey, can we take this so-and-so, this person home? And he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, just take them. They don't need to go anywhere else. They just need to go home and sleep. But they couldn't drive. It was like they were like super tired. It was like overtired.
Tired, everything.
Yeah. So I think you did well. And every time you've been here, you followed all the great,
you guys are best.
Exercises, stretches, as far as physical therapy. I think that your positive attitude and your faith has helped you get through everything.
Yep.
So I appreciate you coming on.
Yep.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, man. Yep. Good seeing you again.